when I first joined ABW, they asked me to take on a gimmick known as the American Eagle.
Why is that mask such an important thing?
This mask is actually really important because it's what kickstarted my career in the United States and helped me get to where I am now, holding the wrestling championship, being a former tag team champion with Mo. It opened so many doors for me, even outside of ABW, getting booked in other cities, other promotions, all sorts. That was a huge honor.
Welcome to another episode of the PGTK Podcast. We have our first import guest in the podcast. We have Sir Ethan Hunter, the British sharpshooter, the current AEPW Wrestling America. I gotta be careful. Wrestling. That'll be good. That
I've got another arm free, so
there you go. So we have the current wrestling champion here. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah. So you're the first guest that's transatlantic, and you are in the UK. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Newcastle.
Oh, so you're Magpie?
Like northeast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're into like the Magpies?
Yeah. I'm not really. I don't really follow football that much, but I guess if I had, it would probably be
By default.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, growing up, what was the wrestling scene like in the UK?
It was very different compared to here. I feel like there wasn't. I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. It's big for what it is, but it's also like very closed off at the same time because most of the companies out there have the same group of guys everywhere. Like most companies have the same roster, and it might change with like one or two guys, but that's pretty much it.
What are some of the bigger promotions in the UK?
Some of the biggest promotions are primarily down south, actually. You've got Progress Wrestling, you've got Rev Pro. You do have one in the northeast called North. That's a good promotion. I know a few guys that have done that show.
Do you have do you remember? I mean, of course, Osprey's going to be the big one, but like, were there any stars that you looked up to?
Yeah, that was a big one. We actually had the same coach in England as well.
Oh, what's the name?
Pat, who's currently in AEW.
Oh wow! Okay, wow. What was that training like?
That was once I found out, I was like, this is crazy. Like I had no idea at first, and then once I found out, it was like, wow, this is crazy. I had no idea. I never thought in a million years that I would be getting trained by the same guy that trained someone that I looked up to for however many years.
You had like kind of like a moment of like you're trying to like not how would I describe it? You're trying not to fanboy whatever that happens.
Pretty much.
And what was the lessons that you learned over that time in training?
There's been so many. And just be yourself is one of the biggest ones that people tend to forget. They always try and pretend to be somebody else just so they can please the crowd or please the guys in the back. But if you're yourself, that's the best way for people to find out who you really are,
Because oftentimes, like, it's the personality, but showing true elements of yourself is really kind of what sets every wrestler apart. And did you have like what was your debut like in the UK?
My debut, well, the first match I ever did was in a Rumble style match.
Okay.
Yeah, I panicked a few times, but everyone panics when they're in the ring.
Yeah.
But now I've got more experience. I don't need to worry.
Was there like, I wouldn't say stage fright, but like rather you still have the nerves in that debut? Like, how did that build over time in the UK?
Over time, it just like the more I did it and the more reps I got and the more comfortable I got in the ring and with my moveset and everything, it just became so much easier, especially once the crowd started to figure out who I am and the stuff that I do. So I could kind of cater my style of wrestling to the crowd, if that makes sense.
Were you a face or were you a heel?
I was a face.
Okay.
Everywhere I went. So the exact opposite of what I am now.
Yeah, exactly. And like, over time, you emigrated here in the US. Like, when was that?
So I moved in December 2022, I believe.
Oh, wow. That's very recent. Okay.
Yeah, December 2022.
Wow. So you're it's more recent now. Like, being in a new country, what were some times that you had to adapt to a new country, to a new culture, particularly in Texas, which is basically its own country?
Yeah, it's huge. There was a lot. It was like learn how to drive again. Like driving's different. We're driving the other side of the road, other side of the car. It's all the laws, rules. It's crazy. But the one thing that helped me adjust the most was wrestling, which I'm grateful for.
Yeah, and it's always a universal language too. And being here with APW, like, what was your first experience coming into the academy?
I thought a few things at first. I wasn't sure how they were gonna act to me coming in with me having the past experience that I had, or being someone from a different country. But once I walked in, everyone was great. Like, they loved having me there. Everyone wanted to work with me at some point, and I'm grateful for that because it helped me get better in the ring and also expand my knowledge.
What were some like nuances that you've had coming from the UK, especially wrestling in the US? It is a universal language, but what were some of those differences that you noticed as you started to like really wrestle here in the US?
I've noticed it's a lot more intense, especially like even like just with the heat as well. It's like so much better because you like in the UK, I could probably go 15, 20 minutes with ease, but then you move over here and it's like start fresh again. You can only go 10 minutes and you get blown up. Crazy.
Yeah, and one thing I noticed too, you did change to a heel, and probably the more interesting things about being a heel, because you are from the UK, how is the reaction coming from the crowd here, especially because of course you are in a different country? What were some of the first instances of a reaction from the audience when you became heel?
I actually enjoy being heel more than I enjoy being.
Oh, okay.
It's so much easier, especially here in America, because I come out with the flag, and once I come out with that flag, everyone boos me straight away.
Oh wow! Yeah. Instant heat.
Yep. It's so easy. It helps me do my job, so I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, and like what were some? Because I was at the Inspire show, and I'm kind of jumping ahead of myself. But like, you have like I hear he's a wanker. I hear 1776, and having those heel moments, that must have been like, holy crap. Did you expect it as a shock, or you got really used to it on the get-go?
No, I loved it. Like, people say like some of the stuff that they hear they hate, but I really don't care. Like, they can say anything to me and it doesn't affect me. I find it funny too when I hear some of the stuff that people come out with.
Yeah, what were some instances? Enlighten us on what those reactions are.
Mainly the Inspire one that you just mentioned, like the 1776?
Yeah, 1776.
Yeah, and then the Eurowangashan. People call me a cunt sometimes, but it's one of those things, and it's wrestling, so I can't complain.
Yeah,
do the thing that I love, so I can't complain at the fans if they're enjoying what I'm doing.
Yeah, there was a photo. I was checking through a lot of your photo feeds. You were behind the walkway at WrestleMania. Like, tell us about that moment, being in that WrestleMania in LA. Was that LA?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay.
That was a great experience. Luckily enough, I was able to go to both nights. That was such a great experience. I learned so much just sitting there watching the show. It's such a great atmosphere too, with like 80,000-90,000 people there.
Right.
And then like everyone's sharing the same passion for something that we all enjoy. It's great. It really is.
What was the match that you enjoyed the most in that WrestleMania?
Ooh.
Put you on the spot there.
I think my favorite match that show, like across both nights, was probably Seth Rollins and Logan Paul.
Oh, okay. No, of course. That's like what makes that match so meaningful to you?
I feel like I have almost a very similar style to both of those guys. I'm fairly athletic. I can do some of the top rope stuff that Logan Paul does. I can do maybe a little bit more. But
what was that smirk? What was that smirk?
Everyone's competition, so
yeah, exactly.
You gotta treat them as competition.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk about, especially with going back to APW, like what was some of the advice that Papa Don gave you over your time training at APW?
One of the biggest things that he always says, which I remember, is that he can't teach experience, because we have to go out and learn that ourselves by getting on shows, working people from across the state, even across the country, just to help us develop and get better in the ring each and every day. And it was, once I heard that, I was like, I know this is where I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to do.
It's just like paying your dues and building your credibility as a wrestler, and a lot of the hard work that you've done. And as you can see here, having the wrestling champion off of the over at the Summer Spectacular with Kirby Knox, when the announcer says "and you," with all the hard work that you've done, what was that feeling like?
It felt great. It almost feels like a new chapter in the story that I'm creating currently. But this is just the first of many, really. I'm gonna go all of the APW titles. I'm gonna get all the Inspire titles. I'm gonna get every single title I can possibly get across the state of Texas, across the country. Hopefully, I bet get the big gold in WWE one day.
Oh, that's the dream right there. That's the dream. That's every wrestler's aspirations when that happens. And of course, with a lot of the wrestling career that you have, of course, it's going to go past the four walls over at AEPW. What was the one thing that you noticed? Let's see, you did go to Inspire or to Baracho Pro. What were some of those differences to each of these promotions after what you've done and what you've learned with AEPW still?
I think one of the biggest differences is probably the fans. Like, they can make or break any show that you're on. And every single time I'm at either Baracho or Inspire, the fans are there 100% of the time, and they're always behind each and every workout.
Right.
So it's a great experience.
Yeah, and one thing I noticed too, and especially working with Mo Kelly and having the partnership with NATO, what was it like working with someone? And of course, wrestling, there is a hint of, not a hint, it's a giveaway of like a takeaway of like selfishness, like working with Mo Kelly as that partner. How did that start to grow, and when did you start to say, oh, I'm starting to get how Mo does as my partner?
This probably goes back to like the first few months when I joined AEW. Like,
right.
We talked like a few times and discussed like ideas of creating like a foreign faction, because there's a few guys at AEW that are foreign. All come from different countries and whatnot.
Right.
But it was an idea that we had. Originally, NATO was going to be me and Luke Cameron.
Right. Oh, really? Okay. Where did that go?
Yeah. So we're still trying to figure a few things out. But that's all I'm going to say for now, because I don't want to spoil too much. But once we got the green light to launch NATO, the first guys that were available for that were me and Mo. And we had a good chemistry going like in the ring before we even started tag team, like doing the tag team stuff. So once we knew that we got the green light for that, it was great. It certainly clicked. We had great matches together. We worked together. We learned from each other, which is what a tag team should do.
Right.
So,
what were some creative ways that you guys use your wrestling moves when you face another tag team in a match?
So Mo's a big guy. He can use his size to lift people, slam them. I can use my size to jump. I can run, and I can do all the flashy stuff.
Yeah, no.
So we can kind of mix those together and blend it into one to succeed with each other. It clearly worked because we ended up being 3-time AEW tag team champions.
Yeah, exactly. All that hard work paid off over time. But I am going to ask that too, when the tag titles got vacated, when the call says, hey, we're going to lose the titles, was there a feeling of grief, sorrow, moving things on? Like, what were some of those feelings when the titles got vacated?
I mean, it's never nice knowing that you're going to lose a title or losing a title. But, it was just one of those things that happened, and we move on and we just keep pushing and aim for the next title.
Yeah, it's always forward progress when that happens. And you wanted to show too, like, what was that one match that you are proud of really doing? And you mentioned you wanted to share a mask with us.
Yeah. So when I first joined AEW, Pops asked me to take on a gimmick that he created. I believe, I can't remember if Pops created or George created, but they asked me to take on a gimmick known as the American Eagle.
Like the sword? No, I'm just kidding.
It was a lucha gimmick. It was a huge honor because I wasn't expecting it.
Okay.
Especially considering I'm not even from this country. Taking on the gimmick of American Eagle.
Yeah.
But I did also bring the mask.
Yeah. No, that's what we're here for. We're doing some show and tell. So, you can show it here, where the mask is. Like, how is that mask an important thing at the time? And you can show up to the camera. You show it there. Yeah, just to put that up. There you go. You can hold it too. Like, why is that mask such an important thing?
This mask is actually really important because it's what kickstarted my career in the United States and helped me get to where I am now, holding the wrestling championship, being a former tag team champion with Mo. It opened so many doors for me, even outside of APW, getting booked in other cities, other promotions, all sorts. It was a huge honor.
Yeah, and like it's a foundation to build on, to further your career, and within this time too. And of course, we're past the halfway mark, in 2024. What are you looking forward to for the rest of this year? What are some goals that you would like to attain? What is the one thing that you look forward to every time you're in the ring?
I'm just here to have fun.
Okay. Okay. That's every time.
Every time I just want to have fun, make some money, be happy. That's all. Win titles. That's it.
Like, is there a dream match that you look forward to?
Ooh.
And no budget, no limitations. It's basically carte blanche.
I think just for the fact that we were trained by the same person, I'd have to say Pac. Because he's such an incredible talent. I don't know how he hasn't become a world champion yet, but he should have become a world champion a long time ago.
Yeah, it's interesting because I'm like, he had a lot of title shots. I thought he was going to win the Intercontinental. I thought he was going to take that title, but it's Orange Cassidy. He has his own unique of quirkiness as a wrestler, and like even before, Neville had a lot of title shots that I didn't expect to not show. And like what were some what would you look for? Is there any stipulations on or just a regular?
Yeah, I'm just happy with a regular one-on-one.
Okay. And I was thinking about this too, and debuting. Well, did you debut in Barrage? Just wanted to clarify that.
Sorry.
With Barrage Show, was that your debut at Apocalypto?
No, I debuted. I can't remember what the show was. I debuted at that old venue, which was a brewery in North Austin.
Okay.
That was a Rumble style match, but it had a slight twist on it. So you could either be eliminated by, I believe you could go the top rope, but you could also be eliminated by pinfall or submission.
Oh, okay.
A bit of a twist. Yeah.
What was the one thing that you, when you were going through it, was it fun just doing that?
It was very fun. It was a bit different, but I enjoyed the concept of it. Those guys at Barrage have some good ideas, and I'm always happy to do whatever they want me to do.
Yeah. And the fun part is, so I was at Apocalypto. You were doing your own flipping and dipping at the tag gauntlet. And coming into that match in particular, like, was that all the work that you've done? Was that like the culmination of what you've learned over the years doing that match in particular too?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, it was great because obviously me and Mo tagging together on the outside for what I think maybe the third or fourth time outside of ABW, showing our bond as a tag team and sharing it with fans outside of APW was a great experience because then it also helps get our names out there and show that, hey, we're not just singles guys, but we can also tag together and take on anybody that is thrown our way.
And you can still go to any match anyways, as long as you're involved in wrestling in each and every single way. And are you looking, have you ever thought of, you've done death matches before, right? Is that something that you look forward to? Really? Why not? Hold on, I gotta hear this.
It's just not my cup of tea.
Okay, gotcha. I gotcha.
I don't feel like getting hit across the head with a light tube or getting skewers.
No, I know the feeling. I was in that same event too when they did the lucha death match tag team. It's like I see what you mean.
I respect the guys that do it, but personally, I couldn't do it. I don't have the guts to do it.
What I was thinking too, especially thinking about the year that you have, how would you describe that?
It's been great. Honestly, this year has been the year that's like opened so many doors for me in wrestling here in the United States, and I just hope it keeps growing and I get to more cities, build a bigger name, wrestle more people, because that's all I care about. I just want to have fun in this business,
okay,
and make memories.
What are some dream destinations that you think are going to be like spots for you?
As in like different
cities. Like, what is there a city? Is there a country, or in the U.S. is there a dream state that you would like to go to? Of course, UK will be a big thing for you too. Like, what are some destinations that you would like to wrestle in down the line this year?
I'm not really bothered where it is. I just want to work outside of Texas so I can get my name out there too.
Okay, so just like basically, like let's say, go to Oklahoma and it's like, hey, just jump in and do it. If Repro is a big, let's say WAW or a British promotion that reaches out to you, and I think I mentioned it when I tagged you on my Instagram, like someone tagged a UK promotion. If they gave you the call, again, we'll go to no limitations. It's open season. If you made the call to go back to the UK and try your hand in wrestling there, would that be a green light for you when that happens?
Yeah, I'd go back to those promotions. Yeah, I'd 100% do it. If there's an opportunity there that's willing to give me that shot, then I'm going to take it.
Yeah, and I was thinking this, and we're gonna wrap the conversation. Thank you so much. I learned a lot within the short span, and I never really got to had the discussion with you. Because I do hang out at APW and see how you wrestle. I never really got to really have a conversation with you like at this level. And I always end my conversations with this. And the World Health Organization, it's been a while. It's been like weeks since I did this, because usually like a question, a variant of the question. But the World Health Organization listed adolescents between the ages of 10 and 19. Now, between those age ranges, people do think to pick things up within those age ranges. Now, if you're in the same room as young Ethan Hunter between the ages of 10 and 19, and you get to choose the age, what would you like to talk to him about?
Okay, so I'd probably go back to the age when I first started wrestling. That's when I was 14.
Okay.
Probably the biggest thing that I would say is just trust your gut feeling. Anytime, like if you feel like there's something you can do it, because you know that deep down inside that you can do anything. At the age of 18, was it 18? Yeah, at the age of 18, I moved to a different country to do the thing I love, and it worked out so well. So if you think there's something you can do, take that shot and do it.
Yeah, and is there like anything? So it's basically like no reservations. Just tell them, go for it.
Yeah,
because it's a calling that you have in professional wrestling too. So, but otherwise, I have nothing left to give. You can look at this camera. You can look at that camera. Where can we find you? And this episode will be out on August 5th.
August 5th. Okay. I'm trying to think. I got a pretty quiet month.
Where can we find you? Like,
yeah. You mainly find me at APW this month. And throughout August, September 1st, I believe I might be in Inspire. We'll find out. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But other than that, if you want to keep up with me on any social media, Facebook, I am just Ethan Hunter. Instagram, _Ethan Hunter. I don't have Twitter because
200 something.
Yeah, it's a crazy place.
Yeah?
So, yeah, that's it.
Awesome. So we'll get the camera here. So this will be the end of our conversation with Ethan Hunter. We'll continue on with the next episode. It'll be another 2-episode week when this comes out, and then our next guest will be out on Friday. But otherwise, this is the end of our conversation. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Be awesome with each other, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of the PGTK Podcast. Bye.